So you've been thinking about making the move to Joplin, Missouri. Well, in this video, we're getting ready to go over 15 very important things that I think you really need to know about before deciding if this is the right place for you. And we're getting after it right now. Hey, welcome back. If this is your first time to the channel, this is Living in the Ozarks, and on this channel we go over everything you would ever need to know about moving to and living in the Southwest Missouri as well as the Northwest Arkansas area. Today specifically we're going to be highlighting Joplin, Missouri, but if this is your first time here and you guys want to stay up to date on all the videos you would ever need to see about these different areas, then be sure to subscribe and also hit that bell. That way you're notified every single time we put out new videos just like this one here. And if this is your first time seeing me, my name is Chris, and me and my team help people make the move here every single day. So whether you're looking to move today, 30 days, or next year, whatever the case may be sure to reach out to us. We would love to help you guys make that move as easy as possible. That number popping up down below, it's also in the description for you. Be sure to reach out to us. You can give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. However you guys want to reach out, go ahead and reach out to us, and we'd absolutely love to help you make the move here. Now we're not going to waste any more time. We're just going to jump right into it and start off with number one, which is that Joplin, Missouri is in a red state. Missouri, yes, is a red state. It is a Republican state. So if you're someone who is looking, for a Republican state, a red state, this is definitely a great place for you. Now, that's not to say that if you're not completely conservative, that this isn't going to be a good area for you, but it is something that you need to be aware of. The majority of people here are going to fall aside of the politics. So if that's something that you don't want, then this definitely probably isn't the best place for you. I'd maybe consider some other areas. But if that is something that you are looking for, then this is absolutely a great area. That's actually the reason why a lot of people decide to make the move here, is because it is. So if that's something that you are wanting, that's a pro to you, then this is definitely a great area to come check out. And then that's going to take us right into our number two, which is going to be guns. Yes, guns are a big part of the area because it is a conservative state. The gun laws here are pretty open. Most people here do own guns.
Take this.
What's that?
It's a gun. Take it.
Well, I don't want it.
Take it.
As a good thing, some people see it as a bad thing. I'm not going to play on either side of it here. I'm going to leave that up to you guys and how you interpret that and what your feelings are on it. I will say, just to go over some of the state laws here when it comes to guns, such as open carry, concealed carry, and all of that. Missouri is a open carry state, and it's also a no permit state. So you can not only open carry without a permit in Missouri, but you can also concealed carry without a permit in Missouri. So for all my gun lovers, it's definitely going to be a good place for you if that's something that you are looking for in your next area. If you're someone, like I said, that doesn't really care for guns and doesn't want to be around that, then maybe this isn't the best place for you. But just something that I want you guys to be aware of. That way you know what you're getting into when moving here. All right, so number three is going to be the surrounding suburbs of Joplin. A lot of people, whenever they do a Google search, they'll pull up Joplin and they'll see a bunch of stuff that maybe they like and maybe some stuff that they don't like, such as crime rate and other things like that. And they kind of just write it off. The biggest thing with Joplin is we actually have a lot of, a lot of the suburbs around Joplin have a lot of really good amenities and a lot of stuff that's really a positive when it comes to areas that you're wanting to look at to actually live in. So places such as Carthage, Webb City, you got Carl Junction, you even got places like Neosho and some other smaller towns too, along with all of the more rural areas where you can get some acreage and other things. There's a lot of good suburbs of Joplin to really pick through and decide if that's the kind of area that you are looking for. Not everyone here really considers all those other towns as a suburb of Joplin, but it definitely is. Most of those places, like for instance, Carthage is going to be about 10 to 15 minutes from Joplin. You got Webb City, which actually is right next to Joplin. You got Carl Junction, which is kind of the same thing, about a 10-minute drive. Just a lot of really good places that if you don't want to be so much in the city of Joplin, then you have these different suburbs that you can pick from. So if you guys are thinking about Joplin, but you didn't really want to be in Joplin, then be sure to reach out to me and my team. We'd absolutely love to show you guys some of those different options that we have when it comes to the different suburbs around here. All right, so number 4 is going to be jobs. So what kind of jobs are here in Joplin? Well, the main type of job that most people have here is either going to be in some kind of manufacturing or in the kind of the hospitality and the medical field. It doesn't mean that that's all that's here. We definitely have some different things, some different types of employment available here as well. But the main job here, it is a smaller town, so manufacturing is going to be a big thing. Some of the bigger companies are going to be places such as Schreiber's, you got Leggett and Platt, you got HE, just a lot of different manufacturing plants, Jasper Products. So if you're looking for manufacturing jobs, we have those. There is a Amazon facility that just opened up on the outskirts of Joplin. So that's something that, we're getting some calls for people who are relocating here for Amazon. A lot of different types of jobs such as logistics, so like trucking, that's kind of a big hub here because we are in that kind of 4-state corridor here. So the logistics trade is definitely a big one that's going on here. And then you also, of course, have the medical field. Any kind of nurse, just working at the hospital, maybe in the cafeteria, maybe it be as as a RN, as whatever that may be. That's going to be a big field that employs a lot of people here. And then, of course, just your different serving jobs, different restaurants. You've got different, like we were saying, the logistics, the Amazon delivery drivers. But the biggest thing is there's no one big employer here besides the manufacturing area for the most part, and the hospitals. But of course, how a lot of people are actually working now is remotely. We get a lot of people who decide to come here to take advantage of the lower prices here, such as home prices and your everyday cost of living, and they work remote, and then they're still keeping those jobs from wherever they may have come from in these bigger cities, and then they just take advantage of these lower prices here. So if that's something that you are looking for, that's definitely a good option here. But yeah, whenever it comes to the job market, that's kind of the basics of what you find here. You also are pretty close to Bentonville, Arkansas, which is where Walmart is headquartered, along with some other big Fortune 500 companies as well. But that's going to be about an hour plus drive. So most people here, though, are going to either be in the manufacturing field or the medical field, or just your kind of your hospitality, retail, any kind of restaurant business, stuff like that. So depending on what you are looking for work, this may be a good option or maybe not. All right, so number 5 is going to be the nightlife here in Joplin. I'll be honest, there's not much here. Yes, there's some, but if you're looking for a bigger city feel, a bigger city vibe with, a bunch of stuff to do at all hours of the night, you're not really going to find that here in Joplin. I do believe that there's still a couple smaller clubs in the downtown area. With nightlife, though, it's not a huge thing here. Of course, you have some options here like any city's going to have, no matter the size. But the good thing about it is if you are looking for that, you're a quick drive to places such as Bentonville, Arkansas, and Fayetteville, Arkansas. They have really good downtown areas. It's still not huge, but you still have options. You also are about an hour to an hour and a half away from Springfield, which has a lot of options for the nightlife as well. So if you're looking for a place where you want to be downtown, like I said, all hours of the night, stuff going on, Joplin probably is not going to be for you. Actually, I can tell you right now, it's not going to be for you. But if that's something, if you're like me and you enjoy kind of a slower paced lifestyle, but still have options for, to be able to take a short, quick drive to get to those other areas, then Joplin's a really good option for you. All right, so now number 6 is going to be food. So what is the food layout here? What is, the different options when it comes to food? You have a lot of, we'll start off with this. You have your chain restaurants, of course, your fast foods, your McDonald's, your Taco Bell, all that stuff, obviously. You actually do have some pretty good choices, though, when it comes to restaurants here, whether it be a nice steakhouse. Of course, you have kind of your higher end chain restaurants too, such as like your Red Lobsters, your Olive Garden, Cheddar's, stuff like that. But then you do have some other kind of unique places that you may not have if you're not from this area. So for instance, the Chinese food here, we actually have the Springfield style cashew chicken. It's the only kind of cashew chicken that anyone here knows. But if you have people, or whenever we get people from out of this area, they have no idea what we're talking about whenever we say Springfield style. It's actually really, really good, something that I would highly recommend. You also have a lot of different options for like Mexican restaurants. You have several different Italian restaurants. A lot of really, really good barbecue places around here too. And then you're also a quick drive to, like we were saying, Northwest Arkansas, that Bentonville area, where you have a lot more food options. So it's definitely not kind of a foodie. Now, some people actually say that, you know, it's kind of a foodie area. I don't really see that in my personal opinion. I think it's still very, you know, there's not as many options here, but you still have plenty of options for most people. Now, if you're someone that's just kind of this person that likes to try a lot of different things all the time, then you are going to probably have to take that hour or so drive to get a lot of other options after a while of being here. All right, so now number 7 is going to be location. So just like we were talking about how, you know, you may not have everything that you are looking for here, specifically in the city of Joplin. The location is actually really, really good to have a lot of different options. So like we were saying, you're about an hour to hour and a half from Springfield, depending on where you're going in the city. You're also about an hour from Bentonville, about an hour and a half from Fayetteville, Arkansas. So that's where you're so down in Fayetteville, you're gonna find the University of Arkansas. So you're gonna go down there to catch a lot of different college games, and also have that bigger nightlife scene, a lot more food options, just a lot more stuff going on down there. Then you're also going to be, you know, just about 2.5 hours from Tulsa. So there's a lot of options there. That's Tulsa, Oklahoma. The big airport's there. We also have a airport in Bentonville, Arkansas, as well as Springfield, Missouri. You're also going to be about a 5-hour drive from Dallas, Texas. You're about a 3-hour drive to Kansas City. So a lot of different options whenever it comes to where you're located, and the different options that you have to go different places. The one cool thing about Joplin though is because the cost of living is so much lower, you kind of get the best of both worlds. Now, like I said, if you're wanting to be somewhere in the smack dab of everything, where you always have something going on, then Joplin honestly probably isn't your best option. But if you want a place where you can take advantage, you know, say you work remotely, or you're taking one of these jobs that's here in Joplin, well, then you get to take advantage of the lower cost of living. Most of the other stuff is also, or most of your other daily costs is also below the national average, and then still have the option to take a quick road trip, whether it be anywhere from an hour to go to like we were saying, Springfield or Bentonville, or up to 5 hours to go over to Dallas, Texas. You still have that option. So definitely a great choice if that's something that you are looking for. Okay, so number 8 is going to be the airport. The reason that I wanted to throw this in there is because most people know that we do have an airport here in Joplin. The only thing is though, is that it's actually not much of an airport at all. They do still have a couple flights that go out certain times of the week to, I believe, could be wrong on this, I should have checked, but I believe it's Colorado, and maybe Chicago. But I've been hearing stuff and I've been reading some articles that's actually going to be closing down, and the airline that was facilitating those flights is actually going to be pulling their connection, or their airline from the Joplin airport. So it's going to turn into more like private planes and people's own personal planes, from what I can tell. So if you were planning on coming here and having the Joplin airport, that's actually more than likely not going to be an option whenever you do move here. All right, so number 9 is going to be the weather. So people always call us and ask us about how the weather is here. There's, of course, just like a lot of other places, the saying here is, if you don't like the weather, wait about 5 minutes and it'll change. You definitely, you know, it seems like you can have all 4 seasons in a 24-hour period here, depending on what time of the year that it is. Honestly, the climate here is pretty mild. Yes, you are going to deal with all 4 seasons. So in the spring, you know, it's going to be cooler. In the summer, it's going to be, you know, hot and muggy and a lot of humidity. In the fall time, it's going to get cooler, obviously. And then in the winter time, you are looking at snow and ice. as a impossibility. But for the most part, it stays a pretty moderate climate here in the Joplin area. The biggest thing is going to be if you're not used to ever having to drive on ice, you're definitely going to have that. Now that's not every year, and definitely not, for long periods of time. That December and January is definitely going to be the times where you can see some ice storms, some more snow, stuff like that. So definitely keep that in mind when moving here. And then also the other biggest thing is going to be the humidity here. If you're coming from a place that's really dry and doesn't have a lot of humidity, it's definitely going to be something that you probably have to get used to. Living here almost my entire life, it's not something that I even think about now, but there is times where that humidity can get pretty bad if you're not used to it. But for the most part, like I was saying, it's a pretty mild climate most of the year. The positive to all that is, though, is we do get all 4 seasons. But if you're someone that wants it to be warm all the time, then this may not be the best area for you. All right, so number 10 is going to be one that we have to hit on. That's going to be tornadoes. So most people know, or a lot of people didn't even know about Joplin until back in 2011 when that big tornado came through. Yes, there was quite a bit of death that happened with that, killed a lot of people. And it did a ton of damage through the city of Joplin. So a lot of people are really scared, and a lot of people actually write off this area whenever they hear about that. I don't want to lie and say that we don't have tornadoes or we don't have a lot of them, because you can obviously tell that we do. We had that big one come through here. There's, you have tornado sirens that do go off sometimes whenever there's a chance of a tornado. But I will say that I grew up in the Joplin area and lived here almost my entire life, and I've never seen a tornado with my own eyes. Now that doesn't mean that you're not going to, but for the most part, it's not some crazy twister movie.
Now, Tommy?
If you look over there behind me, that's a tornado. Yes, a twister.
It really is just something that you learn to live with here. We're not Kansas where they get one every other day, but it is something that you need to be aware of before making that move here. We have tornado sirens. We have a very good alarm system where, if something happens, then you're going to be able to be made aware of it. Watch the weather. You're not going to have to worry about it for the most part, as long as you stay diligent and just being aware of what's going on. All right, so number 11 is going to be the local events here in Joplin. Now, like we were saying, it is a smaller area, but that's not to say that we don't have some really cool local events that go on in the city of Joplin, as well as some of the other suburbs and smaller cities around Joplin. So some of the biggest things are going to be the Christmas parades. You're going to have those in Joplin and Carthage and just a bunch of different, a bunch of the different cities here. Another big parade is going to be, or it's actually a festival, is going to be the Maple Leaf Festival in Carthage, Missouri. That's a really awesome festival and a big parade that they have down in Carthage, Missouri. It's one of the biggest events that Carthage does by far. They have this huge parade that goes through the middle of the city. There's tons of different farmers markets here in the different cities, the main one being Joplin. And then you also have places or things such as Third Thursdays on downtown, or in downtown Joplin on Main Street, where the third Thursday of every month they actually block the Main Street downtown area off, and it's like a big block party where everyone comes down. They'll have music, they'll have food trucks, different vendors, just a really awesome time. So if you're looking for different things such as local events here, those type of local events are kind of a really special thing around here, because it is a smaller town. You kind of get to know everyone, and something that if you're looking for that kind of camaraderie throughout a area, then those are a really good thing to take advantage of. Okay, so number 12 is going to be the outdoors. So a ton of people, whenever they are calling us about moving here, one of the main reasons a lot of the times is because of the outdoor stuff that we have going on here. So it is the Ozarks, so you're gonna have beautiful rivers, you're gonna have awesome lakes within a short distance. If you're an avid hunter or fisherman, a lot of options here. There's a lot of good hunting in Missouri, as well as Arkansas, Kansas, and Oklahoma, which we are in that 4-state area here, so you can take advantage of all of that. You have a lot of public land that you can hunt around the Joplin area. There's different options. A lot of different rivers to go fishing in whenever it comes to the Joplin area. You also can, take a short drive to Stockton Lake. And also to some of the other bigger lakes in Oklahoma. You also have Beaver Lake down in Arkansas that has a lot of good fishing. So a lot of options if you're someone that likes the outdoors. Now Joplin has quite a few walking trails and different places to get out and get active. And also Northwest Arkansas, the Bentonville and Fayetteville area, they have a ton of mountain biking trails, hiking trails, walking trails, running trails, just a ton of stuff there for you to take advantage of too. That's very, very close to the Joplin area. You also have, when it comes to the outdoors, if you like to go camping, there's a lot of options here. You can actually go, it's about a 40-minute drive over to Knoll, Missouri. You can actually go down there and rent, or go down there and actually camp for Memorial Day and of course other times throughout the warmer months and during the season, and go and float down the river there, which is a really good time. So a lot of different options if you want to take advantage of the outdoors here. Tons of different options when it comes to hunting, fishing, all of that stuff. So if you're someone that is an avid outdoorsman, this is definitely a great place for you. And now that's going to take us to number 13, which is going to be the bugs. So like we were saying, great outdoors here, but what comes with that obviously is going to be a ton of different bugs and insects and different things. So you do have to deal with mosquitoes here, different types of snakes. You're going to have to deal with different types of spiders here, and just your basic insects like any other city. The one thing that I will say that a lot of people are kind of worried about whenever they move here is going to be ticks. So if you're going to be doing a lot of outdoor stuff, in anywhere where there could be some tall grass, some overgrown stuff, you do want to watch out for getting ticks on you. Now some of the other critters that you're probably going to want to be aware of around here, we have skunks, we have possums, we have armadillos, different types of poisonous snakes such as copperheads, water moccasins. We do have rattlesnakes in the Northwest Arkansas area, so there's probably some that are down around the Missouri area too, but nothing, you hardly ever hear of it ever. You are going to have different types of spiders too, so you're going to have brown recluses, you're going to have black widows, just your, what's common spiders for around here. I don't know what you are used to there, but for the most part, as long as you're keeping, around your house cleaned up, you're not letting stuff get way overgrown, you're going to be pretty safe whenever it comes to those snakes and different things like that. But just something that you definitely need to be aware of. This is the Ozark. This is a lot of outdoors here, and we do have those around here. All right, so number 14 is going to be the crime rate here in Joplin, Missouri. Now, if you do a simple Google search on Joplin, Missouri, you're going to find that it can be kind of scary whenever it comes to just looking on the statistics of crime rate in Joplin. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and tell you that there's no crime here, but it really isn't as bad as what the internet may lead you to believe. So what I'm actually going to do is going to refer you to the video right here. That's going to be in the description down below and connected to this video, and that's a full long video that we did detailing what the crime rate here in Joplin, Missouri is really like. It goes over and shows you the statistics when it comes to property crime versus violent crime, some of the other stuff, kind of the crime map, and you'll be able to go over and see exactly what's going on with the crime here in Joplin, Missouri. So I highly recommend, before making the move here, to go check that video out. That way you know exactly what you're getting into when moving to Joplin, Missouri. All right, and then number 15 is going to be the cost of living here in Joplin, Missouri. That's one of the biggest pros and a huge reason why a lot of people decide to actually make the move here to Joplin, because the cost of living is so much lower than the national average, whether that be home prices or most of your everyday goods and needs. So definitely a huge pro when it comes to this Joplin area. I am going to refer you to another video of ours as well that goes over the cost of living here in Joplin. So definitely go take a look at this video right here. It is also linked down in the description and attached to this video. Go through, check that one out, and that's going to show you everything such as housing prices, gas prices, food prices, just a ton of really good value in there and good information if you're thinking about moving to Joplin. All right, well, that's going to do it for this video. That's everything that I had to show you when it comes to the 15 things that I think you need to be aware of before making the move here to Joplin. Of course, there's a ton of other things that you may want to know, so be sure to reach out to me and my team if you are thinking about making the move here, even if it's not something that's today or tomorrow. Maybe you're looking to move in 3-6 months or even a year plus. Go ahead and give us a phone call, and we would absolutely love to just sit down, talk with you, go over some of the different things, answer all the questions that you may have, and just kind of get on track whenever it comes to finding out exactly what what you're looking for in this area. Just give us a phone call or a text or an email, however you guys want to reach out. That information's down below. Just reach out to us and we would absolutely love to help you guys make that move here as easy as possible. And of course, if you guys want to see more videos like this one, be sure to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell, that way you're notified every time we put out new videos just like this one here. But until the next time, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and we'll see you on the next one.